Hey everybody, Miss Spooky here. I'm gonna get a little spiritual on you guys for a few minutes. What you're looking at is an arrowhead that I found a few years ago in the Bali Mountains above the Round Valley in Mendocino, California. Those of you that aren't familiar with the area, the Round Valley is the site of the second largest Indian reservation in California. There are at least 6 different tribes that live in the Yalabalis. Then most of the tribes that do live there were actually forced um, into the area, migrated during the giant purge of the California Indians during the gold rush. And there are still maybe about 200 Indians that live in the area. I found this when I was camping up in a campground that used to be a Indian village for generations and generations, perhaps thousands of years. Some of the artifacts in the area are as old as 8,000 years old. I was camping at the campground and on a Memorial weekend, so it was actually fairly busy at the campground, and my friends decided to go take a drive down into the valley and go to the store, get some food and some supplies, some firewood and whatnot, and I decided to stay behind and watch over the camp. And so while I was fixing myself a sandwich, I noticed that Indian had wandered into my campground. And she was a Wailaki Indian. She had tattoos all over her, was wearing a red bandana, really kind of intimidating looking, and I was thinking, oh my God, what am I getting myself into right now? And I got concerned that maybe she'd been drinking, because if you have been around Indians at all and alcohol, you know that it can get ugly pretty quickly. So I just say, hey, what's going on? And she said, hey, what's up? And can I just hang out with you for a little bit? I'm just getting kind of bored. So he said, sure. Her name was Wendy, the Wailaki. And we got to talking a little bit, and at some point in the conversation, I asked her, I said, you guys, you Indians that live here, it's like you don't get along with each other. And, there might be a time where people are coming into the Round Valley to escape maybe a natural disaster or a war or worse. And the Indians here are going to have to band together at some point and to protect this land. And do you think that you would be able to get along and be able to do that, to survive? And she's quiet for a minute and she said, no, I think that we could. I think we could get along if it came down to our survival. And so we were talking a little bit more, and I looked down at my feet and I find this arrowhead right at my feet, which is kind of funny because when I'm at the campground, I often have my head down at the ground looking because there are so many arrowheads that you can find on the ground. And I must have missed this one. I don't know. But there it was right at my feet, and I go and pick it up and have it rolling it between my fingers, have it in my hand, and I'm thinking, what the heck am I doing? I just found this arrowhead, and here I have this Wailaki Indian right in front of me. This is her land and her people that made this, and I go to hand the Arrowhead to her. So I go to hand it to her, and she says, no, I think that one is yours. I think they liked what we were talking about. And she said, you know, you never really find those. They're given to you. Those are gifts. So I did. I thanked her. I kept it. You know, I think that we are given little moments like this to remind ourselves of who we are and where we came from and why we're here, and that sometimes all it takes is for us to reach out to each other and be there for each other and make a connection. And when we do that, then we're given gifts. So before you go and judge or generalize or want to fight with each other, take the time to stop and remember that we are being watched, and all we have to do is just make that connection.